Hello good people, I'm Ryan, and this is Veteran Hardware, a veteran-owned and operated YouTube channel giving you my thoughts on tech. Make sure you also get subscribed and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any future content. Well, Be Quiet is at it again, this time with their new Silent Base 802 ATX chassis. And yes, I know, I'm a month late to the party. This time around, Be Quiet seems to have gotten the memo about needing more mesh airflow options, much like the Pure Base 500 DX that was revised over the original Pure Base 500. Now, the Silent Base 802 is a big boy, not as big as their Dark Base 900, but that also means it is easier to build in, as well as having a vast list of support for water cooling options. You can actually fit a 420mm radiator in the front. Yeah, 340mm fans of water cooling goodness. Before I get ahead of myself, let's take a tour around the exterior of the 802. So right off the bat, Be Quiet has gone away with the orange color theme they usually always go with for a more subdued black look. Personally, I dig it. Aesthetically, from the 801, the 802 really isn't that much different. The front panel, which comes with a solid, more silent focus panel that can be removed for, yes, you guessed it, an included mesh panel, which is a nice touch, not having to buy additional parts to get the configuration you need or want. Inside that panel, you are greeted by a snap-in dust filter with two of Be Quiet's Pure Wings 2 140mm fans with options for mounting a third, as well as the aforementioned 420mm radiator. Moving to the top is another modular aspect of the 802. Two plates held on with small circular magnets lined with sound dampening material, which can be replaced for, yep, a mesh dust filter. Nice. You can also see spacing for mounting three more 140mm fans or a 360mm radiator. One nice touch, which is awesome for mounting radiators, whether it's an AIO or custom loop, is the slide out mounting tray. Just freaking amazing. Still looking at the top where the IO is located is a 4-position fan controller for the integrated fan hub. More on that later. A single USB 3.2 Type-C, as well as mic and headphone jacks round out the left side. Dead smack right in the middle is the hard to miss power button. I don't know, Be Quiet, could you have made it any bigger? Jokes aside, it feels great with a nice tactile click to know that it's pressed. On the right side is a really small reset button, so why go huge for the power but tiny for the reset? I see what you did there, Be Quiet. Next to the reset button is an HDD activity light indicator, as well as two more USB 3.0 Type A ports. The rear of the 802 is interesting. Space for 8 PCIe slots with 2 vertical mounts for your GPU if that's what you want to do. Though in a fully steel side panel version, I don't see the point. Tempered glass? Absolutely. On the top back side is a lot of honeycomb mesh, along with another 140mm Pure Wings 2 fan pre-installed. The PSU bracket is also installed for easier installation. Inside, the two side panels come off with a push button design. I love it. Easy on, easy off. On the insides of the side panels are fairly thick sound dampening foam measuring in at 10mm. Obviously, one side is omitted if you opt for the tempered glass version. Inside, which houses all the business, is your standard motherboard tray. Or is it? Actually, the 802 has some features from the Dark Base line. For example, a removable motherboard tray that can be installed inverted for a unique look. Having built inverted some time ago, as a matter of fact, in the Dark Base 900 Rev 2, as well as my Z68 days in a Lian Li case, is oddly satisfying, but is kind of a pain in the ass to convert to this layout. So if you want to change to the inverted motherboard layout, make sure you want to keep it like that for a while. A full basement has these panels that you can remove and replace depending on what your cooling configuration is. For accommodating larger, fatter radiators, the right plate on the top of the basement can be removed. If you remove the other plates, you can install a additional 120 or 140mm fan, which would direct some of the airflow towards the GPU. The motherboard tray, which like I said earlier can be removed for motherboard installation as well as being inverted, supports motherboards up to eATX. However, I would suspect that the black rubber cable grommets would be blocked due to the width of the eATX motherboard. Storage options in the Silent Base 802 are quite plentiful, and with the ability to install up to 7 3.5-inch drives or 15 2.5-inch drives, another staple feature that Be Quiet uses are these floating drive bays, which are also used in the Dark Base lineup, as well as having a HDD cage in the basement for 2 more mounting locations. Flipping the 802 802 to the backside just shows 3 more HDD or SSD mounts, 2 on the tray, the backside of the motherboard tray, and 1 right next to the 6-fan hub with PWM control. Also on the backside, you are getting access to the basement to manage cabling. Wire tie locations are in great spots where it's particularly easy to tie off cables with the included 6 Be Quiet branded Velcro straps. With this locking snap-in side panel, having to worry about smashing it back into place is not the case here. There's simply a lot of room behind the motherboard tray to allow for great and easy cable management without bunching up the cables. Cooling in the 802 is also another strong suit. I chose to install Be Quiet's Pure Loop 360mm AIO that was just released to cool my AMD Ryzen 9 3900X, which being a 12-core 24-thread beast was cooled really well, sitting in the mid-30s while idle and loaded up never hit higher than 70C. Overall, the building experience in the 802 was awesome and really pretty much every Be Quiet case I've ever built in, so I really didn't expect any different. While writing this review, this actually made me think I would actually like to do an inverted hardline water-cooled build in the sky, provided I can find a tempered glass panel for aesthetics. So what do I think of the Silent Base 802? Well, I quite like it. Very roomy, great water cooling support, multiple configurations for silent or airflow options, and 3 140mm fans pre-installed. Starting off with a price point of $160 US, it's not much more, like $10 to opt for the tempered glass version, which I would totally do had Be Quiet not sent this over for review. You can also expect more content from Be Quiet starting with the Pure Loop 360mm in the future. Okay guys, thanks for stopping by to check out what I think of Be Quiet Silent Base 802. If you like what you see, smack those like and subscribe buttons. Like always, I will see you in the next one.